All right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. We are so glad to have you guys here joining us tonight. We've got a great program, and I'm not going to waste any time because I'm excited that I've got my co-host back with me tonight, Mr. Jay Gill. And you know what? He's got a lot going on, so let's go ahead and pull him in here real quick. But I kind of like to do this intro, so we're going to go ahead and do that again. You're back. You are back.
I'm I am back. Hi Dad, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing? Tell everybody where you've been.
Oh, I'm doing real good. I've been snuggling a little baby for all week. He's 10 days old as of today.
And I have not got to hold that baby yet. So I'm looking
You
forward to
got
doing
to
that. I know.
You're coming out here real soon and I we can't wait to have Papa in town. That's going to be real fun.
That'll be good. Yeah. Also, you got something else going on today. Happy 13th anniversary.
Thank you very much. I am a very blessed man. I have been married 13 years today to my very lovely bride and your amazing daughter. And so, yeah, I've been blessed to have you as a dad for 13 years too, huh?
Well, yeah, you didn't have to go there, but thanks for saying that. That's good.
No, no problem, no problem.
All right, you're not going to be in trouble if you didn't, but that's good. Thank you. That's nice. Hey, we've got some good guests on tonight, so you want to kind of go into that a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tonight I'm really excited because our our guest tonight had the distinct opportunity to be a part of not only one but two teams that went on to win district championships this year. Now I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, what's the common denominator, but common denominator for the Jefferson City Jays. So first up, he was a part of the Jays soccer brand new program records, and that included 25 wins, 108 goals scored, and 19 shutouts. After they won the district championship, they went all the way to the semifinals, where they got third place for the state championship. So awesome job to Quinn and the soccer team. After that, he went on to play basketball, which is immediately after the soccer season. So you want to talk about having to keep running. And when you see Quinn, you'll see. I mean, that boy stays in shape, way better shape than me. I like donuts. Quinn, stay away from donuts during basketball season. Anyways, after starting the year at 1-8, the Jays turned it around and they went on a crazy good streak where they won 11 of the next 16 games, including winning that district championship against the Helias Crusaders. That was their first win against the Crusaders in 10 games, and it was their first time going to the playoffs in 5 years. So that was another awesome thing that Quinn got to be a part of, and he had great highlights. As you saw at the beginning of the program, he had great highlights along the way. What an awesome way to end your senior year in high school by winning all those district championships. So tonight we also have the privilege of having his father here. That's the Honorable Judge Cotton Walker, which I'm sure all of you know who that is. So we're super excited to have the Walkers on. Without further ado, Dad, I say bring them in.
Here we go. Hey guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us, and congrats again, Jay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's good to have you guys on here tonight. And Quinn, as you can tell, Jay's pretty excited to talk a little bit with you about some of the stuff that's been going on. So you feel free to just give him everything you got because he's going to give it to you. Okay.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. Jay, look at that impressive hardware that's sitting up there behind him.
You're not kidding. I just have this blank wall full of all of my failures and not no accomplishments at all. How do I get hardware like that? Quinn, why don't you tell us a little bit about that hardware behind you?
This was the plaque I got from my junior year when we almost made it to the Final Four. And then this is the one from my senior year where we did make it to the Final Four, and that's my third place state medal. And then this was a basketball award I got voted on by the team, the J Pride Award for being a leader and helping out the team.
Now,
You know that
one of the things as far as that, I think you said you took a lot of charges, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the painful part of the game right there.
very painful.
Go ahead, Jay.
True.
Sorry to interrupt.
no, you're fine. I was going to ask, since that award, the team actually voted that for you. What did that mean to you? I mean, that's your peers picking you, saying you get this award. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it did mean a lot. I wasn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't vote for myself. I voted for other people, other leaders on the team, because there was more than one captain than there was the whole year. There were a lot of seniors that probably deserved it, but I'm really happy to earn it like that and be voted on by my peers like that.
Well, that's great. I mean, that is being humble, not voting for yourself. So that's good. I mean, I might have needed to vote for myself to get a vote, so that would have had to happen there. But hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on since our graduation and what are your plans going forward?
Well, since graduation this summer, I haven't been doing a whole lot except working, for my family and for the city even. But I'm just trying to earn a little bit of money before I go to college. And going forward, I'm going to be attending University of Missouri and studying engineering.
Engineering. That's a really good and difficult field, but that's good. We need good engineers, right, Cotton?
Absolutely. Quinn will be, I believe, on his mom and grandfather and great grandfather's side. I think he'll be a fifth generation Mizzou attendee. His mom and dad both went there, and his uncle, but also his grandfather, great grandfather, and great great grandfather on that side.
So pretty much
Very cool.
nobody went to Kansas, huh?
Not even close. Not
Very
even
good, very
close.
good. Hey, we got some people watching. We got Zoe Kelling, Charles Dunham, Don Cope, Laura Hagner, and Mike Peterson have been watching. Anybody has any comments, feel free to jump in with your comments, and we'd be happy to hear from you guys. And we're going to continue on. Jay, go ahead and go with the next question.
Yeah. So, Quinn, you were a multi sport athlete for the Jefferson City Jays, and we'll get into the details of those a little bit later. But right now, if you wouldn't mind, tell us what sports you played, what position you played, and then what other activities and accomplishments you had at JC.
So the first sport I played was in the fall. I played soccer, which is how I got these plaques. And I played sort of shooting guard, small forward, uh, because I'm a pretty good shooter. I shoot better than my dad. So, and then
Oh,
for in the
I got
you
to see
brought
his
that
face. We have
compliment
to see
early,
his.
isn't it?
We got to see his
yeah,
face
I
for
have
that. There
to.
we go. We brought him back in. Go ahead.
Shots fired.
Go ahead.
Shots
We'll move
fired,
him in a
Quinn
minute.
Walker.
And then in the winter I played basketball, I played basketball, shooting guard, small forward. And in soccer, I have played every single position on the field. All 11 players, I've played that position at one point. Um, so I'm kind of the utility man when it comes to that aspect. But I mostly played defense, center back, wide back this whole season, the senior season anyway.
Very good.
Quinn, that is so much running. Soccer, it's all this running right into basketball where you guess what? You do more running. Like, oh my goodness. At least maybe for basketball's sake, does soccer help condition you for that? Like, how do you find the motivation just to keep running?
Yeah, it definitely did help with conditioning. Going straight from running miles on a pitch to doing down and backs on a basketball court. Honestly, it was less conditioning in basketball than it was in soccer. But having peak conditioning in preseason when we were still doing so many sprints rather than when you get postseason, you don't want to get us worn out and stuff. it was definitely helpful early on. So
We'll go ahead and jump right into that about running. I mean, I want to go ahead and give you an opportunity right here, Cotton, to go ahead and talk a little bit about something that you appreciate. Talk about that cross country.
Well, so I appreciate that. So Quinn was a little humble about how he played the positions. Just to go on that a second, as a freshman when he got on the soccer team, he played midfield mostly and kind of played all around. As a sophomore, the coach asked him to go to goalie, which he had done a little bit in club, but it turned out to be the backup goalie and lettered in varsity as a goalie his junior year. And a lot of those highlights you showed, Kirk, those were junior year highlights when he was midfield, and then senior year, coach said we need you on the back line, and he stood people up for those 19 shutouts in 25 games.
That's amazing.
And his on his mother's side, as I mentioned, the athletes, they had track runners. As you know, our daughter, Quinn's sister, ran track at JC. It was 8-time All-State and went on to run Division I track in Louisiana. And Quinn's mom was a state champ in track. Quinn's grandfather and great-grandfather were conference champs at Mizzou. And in fact, his great-grandfather at Mizzou was also an Olympian back in the 20s. On the other hand, his dad, while there's some athletes in my side of the family, including some state champs, it's not me. I did letter in three sports in high school.
Yeah, but wait a minute though. From what I understand, what I hear is that you are the best 55-year-old athlete in your family.
Thank you. That is definitely true. And as you pointed out earlier, the only 55.
Okay. I wasn't going to say that, but you did.
But the sport that I was relatively decent at and lettered a couple of years was cross country. And Jeff City is celebrating 50 years of their cross country program. So no, I did not run on the first Jeff City cross country program, but they're getting ready for a big reunion and then really celebrating that. And actually, they've been nominated. They're putting in a nomination to be in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame as a program. Will be the only third cross-country program inducted. And I don't know whether they'll be inducted right away, but they deserve it. Only 4 coaches, but great Coach Larry York, Coach Dave Harris, of course, Coach Jim Marshall, and now Coach Phillips for the Jeff City Jays cross-country program. And yeah, that's the only sport that I could say I was above average in high school, at least. So.
Well, yeah, because we're going to bring up something here real quick. Chad Burks says Quinn Walker was a great softball player.
Oh yeah, well, I still play a little bit. I only play now because Quinn plays. Yeah, I play softball, but I didn't really start that until law school and beyond. So. Yeah.
Jay played a little bit of softball, and his mom, she just came on here right now. Hi, Miss Jane Bailey. Good to have you on here. Jay played some softball, didn't you?
I did, and I also got leveled by about a 300-pound man who, just leveled me. I was the catcher. I'm just standing there trying to catch a ball, and the guy totally drilled me, laid me out. I don't remember a lot of my softball after
that. Now the walkers are fast and like Quinn, so we play the outfield. We don't get run over out in the outfield.
He got ran over. He got trucked so bad it was horrible. It was bad. Cotton, real quick, what part did you and your wife play, and how did you help Quinn in the development process that you've seen him go through as a player?
Yeah, well, as a parent, you try to instill leadership and attitude and hard work. But honestly, as a parent, especially with a kid as good and self-driven as Quinn and his older sister too, but we tried to show him hard work, and then once he got to his club team in soccer and obviously his high school teams, from there, as parents, we're hands off. The coaches coach and the parents parent, and I think Quinn knew that from the start. I think as a parent, and of course I've coached a lot and coached a lot in basketball too, and when Quinn was younger, but once he got to high school, not as much. And as a parent, I always tried to tell my families when I was coaching, and I tried to live it as a parent too, that in talking to your kids about their competition, you ask, did you try their best? Did they try their best? Did they have fun? And then you tell them that you love watching them compete, and the rest is up to the coaches and the individuals. So hopefully we taught him that hard work and get after it, and then he took it from there.
Yeah, he definitely took it from there. He did a fantastic job. Great senior year. I know you're well respected among your peers, Quinn, and you clean up pretty nicely too. I saw some of your pictures for like prom and some of the different things, and you clean up. You clean up well, young man. It's a good job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I don't like wearing suits in Texas and such, but I guess they look all right.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't like wearing them, and so I got you. Hey, we've zipped through this first segment real quick, and I need to go ahead and bring on one of our sponsors. So we're going to go ahead and go with CNS Business Services.
Mandy Thomas, recruiter with C&S Business Services. If you have visited our website, you will notice that our jobs are classified into 3 classifications: temporary, temp to hire, and direct hire. Today I'm going to tell you about direct hire positions. In direct hire positions, C&S Business Services does the recruiting for the companies that we represent. In these positions, you are directly hired by the company and go onto their payroll, and a lot of times these positions come with full benefit packages. To find out more, please give us a call or visit our website. Thank you.
Say yes to CNS.
CNS Business Services, I really appreciate them. They do such a fantastic job for not only us, but for our community in finding people employment. And if anybody needs a job, that is who I would recommend that you go talk to, and they will help place you there. Hey, I see we have Laura Bourne is watching, and right there in Montrose, Colorado with you, Jay. From what I understand, from what my wife says is that this is an amazing woman, and she's so thankful that she's friends with you guys. So we're excited to have her on here tonight. Jay, go ahead and go on to the next segment.
Yeah, so Quinn, last year JC had a lot of special moments, and you happened to be a part of 2 of them. And so I kind of want to talk about soccer, and you've already kind of touched on your role as that all-around player. I want you to talk about that a little bit more, and then also about your whole experience last year, winning districts, going all the way to 3rd place, and what was your thoughts on playing for Coach Blake?
All right, so it was a special year for a lot of reasons. Yeah, we did some great things and we broke records and went pretty far, but what made it the most special was what we were able to accomplish despite a global pandemic and all these other things that we had to deal with. We even had to deal with some quarantines at some points that moved us around in positions that we weren't comfortable with on the field and everything. So us being able to get in 28 games, and I don't know who all played in all 28 of them. I knew I was one of them, but there were a few others that did play in every single game. But that definitely made it special for a lot of us, even if the people that weren't getting a whole lot of playing time, like the seniors and some of the underclassmen. It still was special just to be a part of this season because of all the challenges we had to go through. And Coach Blake is an amazing coach, and he made it so easy. We just followed protocol, and he made it really simple for all of us. And he does like to talk, but it was always good. It was always good. It was always good talk, and he helped me learn a lot about being a player, a leader, and I couldn't have asked for a better high school soccer coach.
That's awesome. Coach Blake likes to talk. We'll have to talk to him about that, right? No, that's good. He's a great man, and I know that he thought very highly of you, Quinn. And so, I think you as far as the respect that you give to others, you also get it back. And I know that that is one thing I've heard about you is that you're a very respectable young man. So good job.
Thank you.
Jay, keep firing them away, bud.
Yeah. So Cotton, you have a lot of respect for Coach Blake. I don't think you'd ever accuse him of talking too much. Come on, Quinn. No, I'm just kidding. What did you appreciate about how he coached the team, and then also what did you appreciate about watching Quinn as an individual player?
Well, with Coach Blake, absolutely, he knows the game, and he has a plan, and he's organized. And as a sports enthusiast and a coach myself, um, having your son's team coach be organized and always have a plan, that was extremely helpful. And whether he talks or likes to talk a lot, at least he communicates. And so I think that's invaluable. And I think that showed ultimately in the success on the field. And he's a great guy too, as Kirk said. And we enjoy being around Coach Blake and his family. Um, and as far as Quinn, watching him sort of progress, um, you know, I think Kirk said it, that respect that he showed on the field for teammates, coaches, officials, and even opponents. Quinn was often the first one to jump out to help a teammate up, or even after the game, shake hands. Not all our opponents in soccer or basketball show the same respect certainly at the end of the game or during the games. And there weren't any terrible examples this year. The other thing I'd like to say, and this is about his hard work and his dedication to the team, Quinn did play in all 28 games this season, but there was a question whether he would one tournament weekend. We were playing a tournament, and in the first game of the day, yeah, he's showing you his lip. Quinn went up and headed a ball, and a kid came underneath him, and Quinn bit clear through his own lip and had to go to the hospital and get stitches. And then later that night, went back and played another game with stitches. So
That's
I would
awesome.
say
I
at the
mean,
moment, his mom.
I would have been on the field crying, Quinn. Probably for the rest of the day. All weekend, I'd have been like, just bring me more ice cream, please. More ice cream, please. It's for my
So,
lips.
so one of those highlights you showed of basketball was Quinn in his mask, because that was also junior year. He broke his nose and had to wear a mask for a while. The funny thing is, his sister is an athletic trainer, and she was still studying athletic training at the time down in college. And she only got to see Quinn compete in high school sports a couple times. She was there when he broke his nose, and she was there when he bit a hole through his lip. So, and both times she was excited to go see how they were treating him. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if it was karma or what, but
Yeah, Quinn, you were probably like, sis, I love you, but please don't come to any more of my games.
Yeah, stop
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
to the games.
That's right.
That's great. Hey, Jay, go ahead and keep going.
Oh, that's awesome. So Quinn, we talked a little bit about what you've learned from Coach Blake. I'm going to put you on the spot here in front of your dad. I want to hear what you learned from your parents. We're going to start with your mom. What are some core values that you've learned from your mom?
Um, she definitely taught me how to do things outside of the court, Although I will joke, she taught me on the basketball court specifically, she taught me how to play defense and how to foul. So that was pretty important. And then she taught me hard work and sticking with things, and even keeping your head up when things aren't going the way that they're supposed to. Um, those are some of the main things that I would think my mom taught me. And then my dad definitely taught me how to shoot, even though I can do it better than he can now, like I mentioned earlier. But he taught me a lot of basketball IQ, which was very important on this year's team. We had some of it, especially among the seniors, but I don't think it was as high as it had been before. But I think we all got a lot better. Our basketball IQ got so much higher throughout the whole season, and my basketball IQ is definitely because of my dad. So
Cotton,
He definitely wins. He definitely wins horse more now, and that's even after I outlawed dunks in horse games.
you
He
outlawed
still.
dunks. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah.
That's cheating, Quinn. Come on. Come on.
Hey, I did the same thing to my dad. But the interesting thing is, like with my dad, after I finally beat him in a foot race, he didn't want to race anymore. And I'm like, really? Come on, let's go again. And he didn't want to do it ever again. So I only got that one moment. Does your dad do the same thing, or does he let you keep coming at him?
I'll still
Well,
play horse. I'm not going to race him.
yeah, a couple of years ago, last time he tried to race me, he said I don't know if he actually believed it, but he said he would come close and trying to beat me in a 5K. That was about 3 years ago, and I haven't been invited back to a 5K yet.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
Hey Quinn, you've got a great mom and dad. Tell us real quick about your sister.
I think Jacqueline claims that she's the one that made me tough because I didn't have a brother or anything to beat up on me and stuff, but she did plenty before I got to high school. So I think she was a big influence on how tough I am, and she even taught me how to be a gentleman and things like that.
That's great. That is absolutely wonderful to have a good example for a sister. Jay's oldest is a girl, and it's Audrey, and I think she probably is going to fit that same kind of mold, isn't she, Jay?
Yeah, she fights. She
Yeah.
beats up the boys. I'll just tell you that right now. Those four brothers have to watch out because Audrey, she'll get you. I
Yeah.
put her in jujitsu. She's a fighter. I'll tell you
Now
what.
here's the moment that this is forever etched in my mind. Her and the oldest boy, Bowman, they were dancing in the living room when they were younger, and Bowman accidentally elbowed her, and then she turned and she drop kicked him right in the chest, and he went on the floor. So, what was a very nice, happy moment became full contact UFC.
I'm sure Cotton saw plenty of that growing up too. We're raising these kids, huh?
I don't know about quite that much, but yeah, it's funny because even though she was a collegiate hurdler, she's only 5'2". Quinn's 6'1" plus. I'd like to say just 6'1" because then it looks like I'm still up there. But they both call each other little. She still calls him little brother or little boy, and he calls her little sister or little girl, even though she's 4 years older. So
Yeah. That's
Oh,
great.
that's awesome.
Cotton, what have you learned through watching Quinn and how he interacts with others?
yeah, like I said, the respect that he shows for others, and then he gets it back. It's just like what you said, Kirk. And I mentioned earlier that he played for several different coaches. Obviously, in basketball club, it was sometimes me, but and he handled that well, which doesn't always work with father-son. And then the other coaches, he was recognized as at each level as that leader. I think this year, Coach Phillips, in giving him that Jay Pride Award, basically said, one thing is every single practice, if I had to say, hey, somebody go run this right, he would just call on Quinn. It didn't matter. It was a drill, offense set, defense set, position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quinn would go do it. And so that's a little bit of that basketball IQ too, as it goes into that. But so that's been fun to watch him in that way as well.
That's great. It's good to be able to watch your kids excel in things, and we just had one daughter, And right now, I'm watching my daughter excel in having children. This is grandchild number 5.
That's right.
But she does a fantastic job, a great photographer for us in the magazine. I'm just going to do a sneak peek right here. This is
All
the
right.
magazine for July, August. It's our patriotic issue, and we go out in the mail with that tomorrow. And you'll get to read the final page, which we give Jay the final word, and his is right there in the very back. So I'm just going to do a little tease on that. Good stuff. So, guys,
Absolutely.
we're flying through stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next sponsor real quick, Diesel Power Plus, and then we'll be right back for the final segment.
Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord.
Diesel Power Plus out there in California, Missouri, right off of Highway 87 and 50. And we've said it many times. I didn't play the commercial tonight with the ice cream, Jay, because I thought that would be cruel and unusual punishment. On top of that, I didn't even know you were going to be on here because it's your anniversary. So we're glad to have you on here. But they do such a great job out there at Diesel Power Plus, and then they have the dairy barn with the ice cream. You got to try that out. And they are so busy. They're out pretty much every weekend doing truck and tractor pulls all over the place. So you got to get out there and check out. Jay's wearing one of the hats right there. There you go. Jay, kick off this last segment. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and Dad, I know it's my anniversary and I love my wife, but like I said, I couldn't miss the opportunity to sit with Judge Cotton Walker right now, and I just think it's super cool that he's here on the show with his really cool son Quinn. So trust me, I'm honored to be here tonight. Cotton, let's keep talking. You're actively involved in the community, not only as judge, but also as your family. First, tell us about your wife and daughter, and then how you as a family have tried to make a difference in Jefferson City.
Well, I appreciate that. My wife, Deborah, works for the Department of Mental Health. And while we try our best to leave work at work, given that I am a judge and deal with mental health issues at the courthouse on a daily basis, and I'm the treatment court judge, we really believe in that the community's better if everyone is well, if you will, and so we try to serve in that way, and we serve local organizations, whether that's volunteering our time, certainly where we can financially, but especially those organizations that support connecting those in our community to the resources that are available in our community. And obviously, being in a capital city, we have some great organizations, and I think really as a public servant, whatever your job is, certainly as a judge, I think that's part of it. You don't want to be isolated and just sit up here in some White Castle and not understand what's going on in your community. So that's how I've always done it myself. I learned that from my parents and my grandparents, and Debbie did the same. And so it's not a new thing for our family. And we certainly tried to pass that on down to our kids. Jacqueline, we've talked about a little bit, Quinn's sister, and she graduated college while competing in track at Southeastern Louisiana, lying up, as they say, and she passed her boards. She's a certified athletic trainer. She's licensed down there. She's got a full-time job, and she's going to go to grad school because she needs a grad degree to work with collegiate level and professional athletes, which is what she still has as a goal. And if you've paid attention, this family set a goal, we usually go get it. So
that's great. And I want to ask real quick. I forgot about this question earlier. Quinn, all right, what is probably the average number of miles that you run during a soccer game?
Well, I wasn't allowed to wear a Fitbit or anything, so I don't know exactly. But you look at the pros, and some midfield pros probably ran 4 to 5 miles a game. So on the high school level, when I was playing midfield my junior year and freshman year, I was probably running 2 to 3 miles a game. And then in the back, I didn't do a whole lot of sprints like I would in the midfield, but I was constantly moving and talking and jogging around and doing some walking. So it was probably up there with 3 to 4 miles a game.
And you had how many games was it? 27, 28?
28.
28. All right. Wow. Do that math. That's a lot of running.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Hey, you've been actively.
My body is sore just thinking about
it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you've been actively involved in volunteering as well, haven't you, Quinn? Tell us a little bit about that and what you've done with that.
Yeah, so with the basketball team, we did a couple things. We did Wreaths for Heroes and around Christmas time, and we've also volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club. And it's just it's been special to meet other organizations and other people in the community and help them out when they ask. We did a little bit of volunteering with the soccer team too, and the time I really realized that there was a lot more work to do in the community was a couple years ago with the tornado, when I basically went around town helping picking up at Simonson and downtown and the Special Olympics building, and it was just eye-opening, and that's what really motivated me to volunteer my time the last few years.
Yeah, well, very, very well done. And I know that the people that you guys went around and helped, I know that they were very appreciative of that. It's one thing that Jefferson City is very good about. It's about picking up and helping others. So very well done. All right, Jay, I'll let you take it from here.
So Quinn, I want to talk about that basketball season. We've talked about it a couple times now. You guys started off 1-8. It's the end of the year at this point. You guys had just lost your 8th game in a row. All of a sudden you guys turn around and you go on this tear. You win 11 of the next 16 games. You win the district championship. What sparked that turnaround? Was it the group coming together? Was it just leaders? I kind of want to hear from your perspective. What turned that around, and then how special was it to be a part of that?
Yeah, just like the soccer season, we there was still some adversity with the pandemic and coronavirus and everything like that. So it was always up in the air of whether we were going to get games like in big tournaments out of town, or whether we were having somebody travel because of COVID-19. But I think the main reason we turned the season around was we did come together, and all the seniors sort of got together and talked, and we're lifting people up, because when we would get yelled at or reprimanded or whatever, we would just keep our heads up, and we managed to have fun outside of the basketball court altogether and just stay as a team whether we were playing or not. And then we also had a lot of fun playing. Some of even our tight losses, we lost in double overtime by 2 in a Lebanon tournament, and you can ask a lot of the players, and that was one of the most fun games we played all season, even though we lost. It was a bit of a heartbreaker, but we played our hearts out. We scored like almost 90 points. We were having fun. And I think that's what really turned around in a lot of those games, was the fun and the work that we've been putting in off the court paying off.
Mm-hmm. I think that, if a lot of people would understand that, like you said, you were having fun, you guys were giving your maximum effort, you did the best that you could, and the other team just happened to win that night. It doesn't mean that that was a failure for you guys. It helped build you up for the things that were coming ahead. And I think if more people would look at that and not just think that all success comes from the win column, then I think we would see a big difference in our sports. So very good. That was great. You guys did a fantastic job. I want to know real quick, Cotton, You probably had a lot of one-on-one games in the driveway with Quinn, and so who wins now?
Well, it's not even close now. Yeah,
He's going.
It's
Uh-huh.
definitely Quinn. I don't know. With Horse, there's still occasional times when I can take him, but honestly, about time he hit his sophomore year, he started winning more than I did at Horse. One-on-one, it was probably still close through his sophomore season, but I literally cannot even get a shot off, even using old man tricks on Quinn anymore. I mean, he would block 14 shots in a row. I have to catch and shoot, point at a bird in the air or something, get him to look away. And I think the last time I even was close in one-on-one game, I literally, as soon as he checked it into me, I just chucked up a 3-pointer. And that day I was hot, and so I made 5 or 6 of those, and I still lost. So
Just toying with you, right?
Yeah.
No, he was doing his best. He was competing as hard as he could. He didn't let me in. No way.
No. Hey, Jane Bailey said, "What an awesome attitude you have, Quinn, and then also you're a remarkable young man." So, you can tell that just through the interview. So, hey, we got one final question for you guys, but before we do that, I want to quickly play this promo for a concert that we have coming up here on August 28th.
Light in the darkness, redemption inside the walls with Aaron Schust. A powerful evening of hope and healing. Saturday, August 28th at the Jefferson City JC's Fairgrounds. Doors open with special events at 5 p.m. Concert at 7:30. Tickets for Aaron Schust are on sale now. RedemptionInsideTheWalls.eventbrite.com. Find out more at RedemptionInsideTheWalls.com.
And I just encourage everybody to come out there for that event. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've had it the first 2 years. We had the Newsboys and Michael W. Smith last year, and now Aaron Schust this year. And the first year we had a tornado. Last year we had a pandemic, and so I'm excited about this year. we're ready to have a normal one. It'll be great. All right, Jay, we got two questions left, one for each of them. You go ahead, fire away.
All right. So Quinn, how has competing with your dad, your sister, how did that really impact your competitive drive and development in basketball and in soccer and in life?
It is most definitely inherited. It's genetic. My mom was a competitor, and my grandpa and his dad and all that, and my sister and I have always competed, who's grown the fastest. So I think I've won that race. But I've just always it's genetic for sure. I think that's what it comes down to. It's everybody in our family is very driven and competitive to be the best that we can be.
And it's fun too, because you can carry that with you all the way through life, and then you can have stories at the picnic or at the Thanksgiving table, and the stories continue to expand and expand and expand, and pretty soon, they're looking at you. Who are you even talking about? That's what happened in my family anyway. I don't know. Go ahead, Jake.
All right. And then Cotton, I kind of wanted to hear what your thoughts were on that basketball season and watching the team make that turnaround. And then I also want to give you the chance to have any final thoughts and words and comments.
Yeah, well, Quinn talked a little bit about the turnaround, and at the holiday tournament right before the end of the year, they played 3 great teams. And lost all 3 games. They were in a couple of the 3, but lost all 3. And then as they got together, they played and went undefeated in a tournament in January out of town. And then 2 of those 3 opponents that they lost to in the holiday tournament, they came back and beat later in the year, including in the district championship. And it was a team, sticking together and really just continuing to compete all the way through the end, and they saw it pay off in the end. And honestly, the basketball team, it would have been nice to win one more game. They fell down in that Sweet 16 game. They got behind by what was it, Quinn? 24, 25 points, and then got it back to a one possession game late in the game. And to their credit, the opponent hit a couple free throws and ended up pulling it out. And no offense to the Jays and Quinn and all that, but that probably would have been the end of it anyway, because the next game they would have played that was it Kickapoo team, Quinn, from Springfield, that was just unbelievable. That ended up winning.
They had like 2 D1 recruits or
Yeah,
something like that.
they ended up winning the
couple-
state championship going away. So
Yeah, they were lights out.
yeah, but and I guess just as final comments about I really appreciate you guys having Quinn especially on. And Jay may remember, although he was absent, I did get to fill in as a co-host once during the pandemic year. And that was fun. But I really appreciate what you guys are doing with this, and obviously the Sports Logger magazine, just to highlight, good young athletes who work hard. Having somebody like Quinn on, there was some team success, even with some individual frustrations and injuries, and your face isn't any worse for the wear, Quinn. There you go. Despite a broken
It's your
nose
face
and
too.
broken, yeah, okay, there's that too, yeah. Highlighting that the hard work and those athletes in our community, and how they mean more than just, as you were saying, Kirk, just wins and losses in one game or in one season. So I really appreciate that outlook on things.
Well, we absolutely have enjoyed and appreciate having you guys on here. Quinn, thank you so much for joining us. I know you've got somewhere you're supposed to be here in a little bit, and actually you're probably past time on that. But we thank you for joining us. And Cotton, thanks for joining us. We know that you're still at work and you probably need to get home. I'm gonna let Jay finish up with the final word. If you guys will hold on for just one more minute, we'll be right back with you after the program's closed. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Guys.
Wow. Hey, as always, great interview. Man, what a great young man. And, he's had very good upbringing through his parents. And it sounds like his sister does need to stay away from his games. So why don't you go ahead and...
Well, and one thing that I really just wanted to highlight and touch on was just, the perseverance of Quinn Walker. I mean, to play all 28 games for the soccer, to then, turn around and go right into the basketball season, through injuries, through it all. And then it's really the stuff that he did off the courts, off the field, doing that volunteer work. And I think that's awesome. I think that just shows, what a stand-up, guy he has become. And, a lot of credit goes to, his mom and dad. And, having the honorable Judge Cotton Walker on tonight is super awesome. You can just there's a reason people vote for you, Cotton. You're a great guy, and you and your family go into the community. And like you said, you weren't raised to just be like, well, I'm the public servant, I'm going to sit in this castle. I'm going to go out there and be with people and meet them where they're at. And I think that's the part that really attributes to this family. So we just really appreciate you guys and what you do for the Mid-Missouri community, and what you guys are doing for Jeff City. So thank you guys so much for being on tonight. Wow, the program really went fast. I did not even realize how late it was. But yeah, we're super glad that everyone tuned in tonight. You know what to do. You need to hit that like button. You need to subscribe. You need to comment. You need to share this away. That way we can keep bringing you great content every week. So, Sports Locker Nation, super glad you guys joined us tonight. This is One Nation and SLM Extra with Kirk and Jay. Thank you guys, and God bless.
God bless. And Jay, happy anniversary to you and Katie.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night.